Good morning, everyone. Today we are moving into our last 2 weeks of classes for this term, and we're working with mind and emotions, which means a little extra on meditation, breathing techniques, chanting, and then in terms of the body, we're going to review the whole body. I had a lot of requests for upper and lower back today, so I think that's going to be a big focus. And I think we're ready to roll. So just get comfortable. I do hope to do also a restorative pose today. So if you do have a yoga bolster, this is a wonderful prop. If you don't yet have one of these in your collection, you can use a big bed pillow or maybe get two big bed pillows. So just when we're setting up, do that. If you have yoga blocks, you can also use these or a rolled mat when we're doing the big chest opener at the end. So finding your spot and just finding your breath. So it's a little cool here today. It's one of those days. And when it's like that, it's very, very helpful to keep the body, just to get rid of heaviness in the mind and the body. So inhale, arms to the side, exhale, make a big ha sound. And bring the arms to any height that works for you. You might want to progressively move higher. And I really like to do what's called nerve flossing in physiotherapy. Just that movement, that nodding of the head up and down, just slightly without throwing the head back. Now, as we warm up, you might want to work a little bit faster. Eventually, we do want to slow down. Just finding how things are feeling this morning. If you have more pain in your back and you find four bends, work just round the spine. That might feel really good as you bend the knees. Really round, like you're hugging a tree. And as I do this tree hug in my practice, I also give thanks for being on this First Nations land. I'm here in Seashell territory in British Columbia. Wherever you are, if you're on First Nations land, just maybe make an acknowledgement as we do this beginning practice. Just honoring the land, people who have come before us, and the great honor of having time, the privilege of having time to play, to move, and to perhaps touch something greater than our everyday experience today through the practice of yoga. When you're ready, that gentle warm up, you might have a light sweat from that. Inhale, coming up, arms to your place, so they could be just here or higher. Palms together if that works for you, just finding your feet. Exhale, let's go through the center and bow the head to the heart. Inhale, let's visualize the radiant sun around us, even though we can't see it outside today on the West Coast. Let's find it inside of us. That ha sound is a heating sound. Heat up the system. Sweeping through that radiance all around you. And exhale, finding your center from the top of your head all the way to your feet. As you do that exhale, perhaps visualize a waterfall all the way to beautiful rocks and maybe some sprouting spring flowers at your feet. Feel that waterfall going down from above you, through you, in front of you, beside you, behind you, all the way to your feet. Let's use a visualization. Bhavana. It's a felt and sensed visualization. We want it to be embodied. Otherwise, visualization can lead to dissociation. We don't want that. We want to have association. All right, making this a little bit more active, you can come up onto your toes and stay here. And breathe. Otherwise, you can go up and down. Now, can you find your breath as you stay? Probably a little shorter, but try to lengthen the breath. Finding stillness. When you're ready, coming down, bowing the head to the heart, that water flow down. You are in the center of that water flow all the way down to your feet. If you've been in one of those showers that streams from overhead, it should feel like you're right in the center. And just stand for a minute and keep visualizing that water flowing down all around you, cleansing you, showering you with bliss, joy, and peace. Just make an intention for today linked to your mind and emotions. Perhaps it is, may I rest in my joy. May I be untouched by negativity around me and rest in my joy at all times. Find your own way to express what you need today. It might be simple. May I let go of stress and tension in my mind and body. And when you're ready, inhale, arms up. Exhale, come to one side. I've been working on this last few weeks, and you can just come here, or if you like, you can balance on that leg. Inhale, center. Exhale, bring the arms to the side, your foot on the ground, or perhaps coming a little bit more deeply into it. Do this in your own timing. So this is a great way, these asymmetric poses, to work with bilateral movement. Which is said to be a great resource for stress and pain, this bilateral movement, this rhythmic movement. So if you make it a little more rhythmic, also has a great effect on the nervous system. It's pretty hard to meditate when the nervous system is agitated. So as our foundation for the spiritual practices of yoga that can take us all the way to enlightenment, we want to just first of all work on becoming embodied, grounded, calm, resilient. And when that starts to become more of a regular experience for you, deeper practices of meditation start to take hold. Not just while you're meditating, but throughout your whole life. So the word practice, abhyasa. Chapter 112 in the sutras, abhyasa, practice, means practicing being present. You can do this all the time. This practice needs to be continuous, not just while you come to class. It's a continuous practice, watching the mind, observing the thoughts, observing the emotions, observing the triggers. Where am I in all of this chaos? Can I find myself, that stillness, that witness, that observer? Where am I? Can I watch myself doing this pose? When you're ready, finishing up. Samastiti, notice how you feel. Even standing pose, notice how you feel. Can you observe your breath? Can you feel the breath just move into the nostrils, down towards the belly, and then exhale from the belly up and out through the nostrils? Can you feel that rise and fall of the spine just by breathing? Can you feel your body arch as you inhale? Contract as you exhale. Can you embody this breath consciously? Can you make conscious, which is usually non-conscious, the breath? This is always the first meditation practice I teach, is that just observing the breath. When you're ready, moving on. I feel like I could just sit and meditate now, but we will move on to more asanas. I won't do that to you. So let's go into Utthita Trikonasana. Inhale, the arms are coming up. Exhale, sliding along the side. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, side. Now you can do this with your feet facing front if that makes your back feel more stable. You can also do this with your hand coming to a chair. So you want to stretch, stretch, stretch the side. This hip is coming this way. Draw your belly in. Just move in your own time. So we're going to do everything quite simply today in terms of the movement. So you can go inside your body in interoception. Feel inside your body. And move with mindfulness and presence, abhyasa. What do you need to cut away, vairagyam? What do you need to cut away to be present right now? Is it a thought? Is it a feeling? Is it something in your immediate environment that you just need to change? like telling your partner to go to another room or go for a walk so you can have a little space. What is it that you need to cut away to create more presence? Okay, coming back to the center, other side. So if this is not working for you, again, you can try your feet center and just go side to side like this, or you can do side to side in Tadasana, okay? So for those of you with hip issues, if this isn't working for you, inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, going to the side. So any kind of side bend is fine. It doesn't have to be this one if this does not work for you. Inhale, center. We all have these things in our body that happen, especially as we age. And part of our gentleness towards ourselves is just saying, hey, I'm going to do this in a different way. I'm going to find that shape in a different way that works for me today. Now I'm kind of lucky because I get to choose what we're doing, so it's going to work for my body. But you have to make those adaptations. Exhale, side, 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 reaching your hips the other way. Draw the belly in. And just finishing up. Exhale, release. It's working asymmetrically, activates one side of the brain at a time. I'm going to move into a rotated twist now. So we're going to start with the upper back. For those of you who don't want to rotate the lower back, feel free to just keep in the upper back portion of this. Inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, twisting to one side, just with the upper back. Inhale, arms side. I've got the palms down now. I'm drawing the shoulder blades together. Exhale, I keep my hips forward, my feet are parallel, and I'm trying to keep my hips forward as I twist back. So if you have neck and shoulder pain, this can be a great way to just get things moving. And to avoid neck and shoulder pain, of course. Moving rhythmically. The other thing we know from science, which is super interesting to me, is that thoracic mobilization, thoracic movement, moving the upper back, neck and shoulders, seems to give us pain and stress resilience. Okay, one more of those, and then we're going to move forward, so to speak. So you can keep that going, or the next step is just twisting, aligning your shoulders as you bring one hand to your hip, shoulders aligned, inhale center, and exhale other side, twisting, aligning your shoulders. Now, as you do that, you can start to bend one knee at a time if you like. And you might go a little bit more deeply into it by doing that. It also starts to work with the hips. So just this side to side movement. Now, in terms of where you can look just straight ahead of you or try to look up. Be careful. You can even just look down if your neck is bothering you. Just look down. So I like that bent leg version myself. And then if you want to take it into your lower back, go past the waist towards the lower leg. And you might actually find this easier if you're more flexible in that part of your body. You can also use blocks as you do this, as landing pads or a chair. Just finding your spot. You can use a table, a chair. It's a really nice way to do this. Much more aligned. You can keep the focus a little higher in the body by doing that as well. Keeping the hips even. Okay, I'm going to go into the full pose for those of you who want that. This happens to be quite an easy pose for my body because my back is very flexible, but if you're tighter in your lower back, keep it higher. This can be very relaxing for the mind. Just gonna get rid of these blocks. Head lower than the heart, compressing the belly. Slow down that exhale. And just finishing up your last round. And come to center. So I hope you found a way to do that. It felt good for your back. Notice how you feel. So the rotated twists that compress the belly can have a very deep relaxation. So let's do it. So inhale, arms come up. Do that 3 times. Exhale forward with an om. This time stay in your forward bend. So some of you, as you know, you're doing this with a chair. You can also do it with blocks or your hands on the floor. I'm going to show with blocks. This could be a chair. Inhale, arching up. Exhale, forward bend. And when you go into your forward bend, most people need to bend the knees to get the belly to the thighs. If you can, release the head down. If you don't have eye or heart issues that are contraindicated for bringing the head lower than the heart, if you can, bring the head lower than the heart to relax the mind. We're going to add Om Namo to this Sthiti movement. Om Namo. Or you can just do that humming exhale or just Om. Om Namo, I surrender, I let go. Om Namo. And you can do this at a chair or a table. Om Namo. Om Namo. If it's comfortable, just stay in your forward bend. Your hands could be on a chair, on a table. If it's comfortable, just stay here. And just go into breath awareness. Don't lengthen the breath now. Just be aware. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. This is a beautiful mantra to Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom, but it's also the sound of the breath. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. It means that which is. I surrender to that which is. I surrender to my stillness. Just saying that mantra in your head. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. When you're ready, coming out very slowly, bend the knees, lengthen the spine. Inhale, exhale, stay. Inhale, coming up. Up very slowly to recalibrate. Notice how you feel. That forward bend, I can't say enough about forward bends for their relaxation effect, their decompression of the spine. You literally should feel weight in your feet now, having done that. This is called apana vayu, the downward flow of energy. And this helps get rid of mind-body constipation, stuckness, holding on. What do you need to let go of so that you can be present? Abhyasa, Vairagyabhyam Tannirodaha, chapter 112, Yoga Sutras. My favorite sutras. Abhyasa, practicing being present. Vairagyam, cutting away attachments to things that are not serving us. Usually called desire in spiritual traditions. These are desires that are not serving us versus those that are. What do you need to let go of so that you can practice being present, so that you can be? moving into our next vinyasa. So this is how you can bring some deeper practices into your movement practice and make them moving meditations. We're going to work with warrior for the lower back, for the hips, and for the upper back. So this is this thoracic movement, very helpful. So we're going to do something a little different today. Inhale, arms at the side. Now, if this compresses your lower back, feel free to do it more with a forward bend. Exhale, we're going to twist to one side. Inhale, back to the center, and then we're going to twist to the other side. Inhale, center, exhale, release. So this is working with neck and shoulders a lot. Inhale, so let me see how this works. Forward, you can still do it, yeah. So you can do it with your spine forward if that feels better for your back. It's actually a little bit harder. You can also do it with that back leg parallel and do it more in a lunge position. So you first go to your easy side, that open side. Inhale, center, and then go to that hard side. It's definitely harder. I haven't taught this in quite a while. It's a really nice one. As you exhale, try to draw that belly in. It's another way, actually, the way I'm doing it with the lunge, to keep the lower back stable and work more on the upper back. Let's do one more. And if you can, stepping back. On your samastiti. And bring your other leg forward. I'm going to show on this side so you can see my twist a bit better. So I'm just going to start with the warrior position. Nice wide warrior, long and wide for your hips. Bending the front knee over the ankle, arms at the side, opening the chest, maybe looking slightly up, or lunge forward. Inhale here, exhale, go to your easy side. As you do this, draw this front knee, try to draw that hip back and that knee open it because it will tend to rotate in. Exhale, and just notice if one side's different than the other, draw the belly in as much as you can. Again, you can do that with that lunge forward. And you can do it with the back foot parallel, going into a runner's lunge. Test the balance. Whew. And if you're finding it hard to twist, bring your hand on your thigh. So this is my hard side, so I'm going to do that. Take those breaks in between, straightening that front leg. You also have one hand on the thigh for this one too. And just finishing up. Finding your samsthiti. Hopefully you found a way to do that. It worked for you. The right amount of challenge and the right amount of relaxation. Just resting here. I'm going to go into our next forward bend. If this works for you, you're going to cross one foot behind the other. If not, just keep your feet stable. Inhale, arms up. For this one, I'm going to interlock my fingers. If this is too much for you, just have your arms going to the sides rather than to the front. As I exhale, I'm rounding spine. As I inhale, I'm coming up. That last one warmed the hips up quite a bit. Hopefully you're ready to have that stretch. So as I do this with the interlock finger, stretching, stretching, stretching. And you could do this coming to a chair, so just coming to halfway down rather than all the way down. Just trying that a few more times. And finishing up, switching sides. Always starting with your easier side. Got the legs crossed. Exhale forward. I'm interlocking my fingers. Inhale up. I'm constricting my throat and I'm breathing through my nose. It's called Ujjayi Pranayama. In your head, you can count 4 to 6 seconds as you exhale and inhale. This can prepare you for seated pranayama, where we work with ratios. We bring these ratios into our asana practice. It becomes a moving pranayama practice. So this is one of Krishnamacharya's great gifts, is he brought these seated practices into moving practices, which I think for our day and time is very helpful. As in our work, we're sitting more as a culture than we ever have around the world. Most cultures now are doing a lot of seated work rather than working using the body. And just finishing up. Sometimes the last thing you want to do when you take a break is to sit some more. So can you meditate and breathe as you move? And just rest, notice how you feel. Notice the inhale and the exhale, perhaps putting one hand on the belly, the other on the chest. Just noticing the breath, where it's at. Noticing the feet. You can feel the soles of the feet on the ground. Inhale, so, exhale, hum. If you like, tip the tongue, roof of the mouth as you do this, and focus on the third eye between the eyebrows. Otherwise, focus on the heart or the feet. Heart is right in the center of the two experiences of uplifting and grounding. Feet is for grounding. Third eye is more an uplifting of the spirit. What do you need today? Do you need to ground or you need to stimulate and uplift? There's something in the middle at the heart. Can you meditate as you stand? You might start to feel waves of bliss, joy, as you sink into the center of yourself. Away from the many activities of the mind, taking you outside or away from the self. So in yoga, we want to train the mind to be in service of the self or the stillness, whatever you want to call that. Part of you that feels eternal, changeless, formless, authentic. We want to sink and merge into that part of ourselves and identify with that part of ourselves as our true self. Okay, so we're going to head to the floor right away today. I want to do a little extra floor work. So as a transition, I actually want to do pranayama right now as a kneeling or seated transition. So find a nice place to sit, either kneeling or cross-legged, or you can be in a chair as you're transitioning down to the floor. I'm just going to angle the camera down today. Cool.
Maggie, your sound is very low.
So I like to sit in Vajrasana, diamond pose, because it keeps my hips nice and even, but feel free to do whatever you like. And I will change my leg position as if any discomfort arises before my legs fall asleep. Another variation, which is nice, is you can take a block and sit on it like this. This is a little bit more towards a pose called Virasana. So that can be really nice. I think I might do that one today. And you can use the bolster between the legs as well. Some people like to use a bolster pillow between the legs. Again, you can sit on a chair. If you're sitting in a chair, sit on the edge of the chair so that your spine is erect. So that's the most important thing. Place. Okay, so we're just going to start with a simple pranayama. It's called Shitali Pranayama. We haven't done this in a while. And this is to cool the mind. So if you ever get a headache, or if you feel hot due to a hot flash or hot for any reason, or you feel irritable, angry, a lot of dvesha klesha, that pushing away, I don't like this, I'm mad, I'm angry, reactive, this is a great pranayama. So inhale through the tongue can be curled. I call it a hummingbird tongue. Or if you can't do that, because genetically you either can or can't, you just put the tongue slightly between the teeth. This is called sitkari. And you want to keep the jaw relaxed. You don't want to go like that. You want to keep the jaw really relaxed. So inhale through the tongue or teeth. As you look up and exhale, as you look down, you're going to exhale through the nose and constrict the throat, Ujjayi Pranayama, throat breath. Slight modification of the classical pose. Inhale. As you do that Ujjayi, keep the tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth. Just going to show that side view. It's a very simple pranayama. And it's great for neck and shoulder. It's great for neck and shoulder pain. It's doing that nerve flossing that I found to be probably one of the most helpful things for my arthritic neck. Is this movement up and down. Not throwing the head back. Lifting the chest and looking just slightly up. Keeping the eyes closed. Inhale tongue, exhale through the nose. Constricting the throat. Inhale from your chest to your belly. Exhale, belly to chest. Inhale, arching the spine. Exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale. Exhale, tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth if you can. And just take a break. You might want to adjust your legs if you're becoming uncomfortable. And just rest for a minute. Move into that breath awareness meditation. Perhaps tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth. You want to use a mudra, you can do dhyana mudra. One hand on top of the other, thumbs together. It's nice to do a left on top of the right. If that feels okay for you. I'm going to keep the tip of the tongue at the roof of the mouth. Focus on the third eye, the heart, or the belly rising and falling. If you feel ungrounded, focus on the belly movement. If you feel like you need some uplifting, you feel a bit down, focus on the third eye. If you feel just right in your center, focus on the heart. Or try any of these and see which one your intuition draws you towards if you're not sure. Feel the inner smile just naturally take over your face. Inhale, so exhale, hum. That which I am. And be ready and lie on your back. Stay a little longer. Right. So in my own practice, every time I do about 2 to 3 poses as a set, I move into breath awareness and meditation. So I just kind of weave it into my entire practice. And then when I do a full pranayama practice, I sit a bit longer. So that's something you can try at home. So just starting on your back. You can lie on a carpet, something nice and warm if you or a yoga mat. You can inhale, bring your arms up to the floor behind you. You might need a bolster or a pillow behind you. And exhale, bringing the arms down. Inhale, from the chest to the belly. Prana meets apana. The chest meets the belly. Tucking the chin in at the top of the inhale. Exhale. Belly draws in, apana meets prana. The Bhagavad Gita mentions the inhale meets the exhale meets the inhale. Prana meets apana, apana meets prana. Every time we breathe, using this method, chest meets the belly as you inhale. And the belly meets the chest as you exhale. slowing the breath down. Ujjayi Pranayama, constricting the throat. Pausing between inhale and exhale. Can you pick a ratio that feels good for you today? Inhale 4 to 10 seconds, pause, exhale the same. Can you feel the back body as you do this? Inhale into the upper back, the middle back, the lower back, and then the full belly expanding. As you exhale, can you draw in from the pelvic floor, lower belly, belly button in, chest falls. Inhale from the upper back to the lower back to the belly. Exhale from the pelvic floor all the way up through the belly, and then the chest falls. I'm going to add on some movement. This is Tadaka Mudra, this pose. Before we do this, we're going to stay in the classical pose. So the arms overhead, if that works for you, or you can bring your arms another place if this is not comfortable. The hands could be on a bed pillow or a bolster. Interlock the fingers if you can, or palms together. I have my feet at the wall just to help me keep more aligned and grounded. And then breathe in this pose, Tadaka Mudra, little pond pose. As you exhale, can you engage the bandhas, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, pelvic floor lock, stomach lock, pelvic floor drawing in, belly in and up. The lower back comes completely to the floor. And chin lock if you can, if it doesn't hurt your neck. Hold after exhale. Inhale, release. So sometimes it's a little easier to do that chin lock after the inhale when the chest has risen. So you might want to do that if you've got a sensitive neck. Just do it right there as you inhale and arch the spine. And then exhale, you might want to let go of that chin lock. If your neck doesn't like that, it can be quite strenuous. So that's the way I'm going to show it for myself. Pick your modification. Classically, you're engaging all three bandhas. See if I can do it for you on the hold after exhale. Inhale. Hold the breath after exhale, drawing from the pelvic floor up, in. Exhale. Everything zips in and up. Hold after exhale, draw the bandhas in and up. Chin lock in if you can. Hold 2 to 5 seconds, half the length of your exhale. Keep this going your own timing. Inhale, chest to belly. Exhale, belly to chest. Hold after exhale, Mula Bandha, root lock, Uddiyana Bandha, stomach lock. Pelvic floor all the way to the stomach, drawing in and up. Chin lock, Jalandhara Bandha. And release. And rest. Just rest for a minute after that. Notice that your heart rate is probably elevated. Notice any sensations in the body. I usually feel a lot of apana vayu, or that downward flow of energy. I feel this energy going down my body into my legs and feet. So notice if you feel anything like that. And I particularly feel my side that's harder for me, my left side. I feel this energy going into that side of my body, all the way down to my feet. So this is the healing power of yoga. Removing the blocks and letting the prana, the energy flow as it should throughout the system to create balance. Cleaning away those blocks through our practice. The blocks of the mind, the body, physical body, and the subtle body, the energetic body, the nadis. The little rivers of 72,000 rivers of energy radiating out of the belly button throughout the entire body. Can you feel any of those little rivers waking up? All right, well, I'm going to show you a sequence now to get back into the body. You might be getting a little cold, so let's warm it up. And this is going to be for the lower back and for the hips in particular, and for the core. And it's going to decompress the spine, I hope you find, as well as working your core. So be a little bit away from the wall if you're using the wall. I've got my tippy toes on the wall here. Inhale, arms coming up to your place overhead. Again, you can use a bolster or a bed pillow. Exhale, bring one leg up as you flex your toes towards your nose as your hands come down. Inhale, leg coming down. Now, as you do that, stretch your toes away as much as you can. Stretch, 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 stretch. You're decompressing the hip and lower back. Exhale, other side, flexing the toes towards the nose. This is also using the core if you work with the core. It's called Urdhva Praskrit Padasana. We classically do it with both legs, but we're going to do one leg at a time. Now, if this is too much modification, you can just lift one leg up and then the other with the legs bent. So pick your medicine. So if you can do it with the legs straight, you can work on decompressing the spine as you stretch the toe away as you do that inhale. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then exhale, other side. And if you had noticed that one side feels a little shorter than the other, by the end of this, you might find that that short side has gotten quite long. Now to work with that core, that Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha that we worked on earlier, try to start to exhale before you start to move. From the pelvic floor up. If you want to challenge your brain, you can work on moving one arm down at a time, same arm as leg or opposite. And exhale, bring your arms down. Just take a rest for a minute. We're going to move on. We found a way to do that. Suited you. Okay, so we're going to move on. This is one we've done before. And I'm bringing my feet away. I'm on my tiptoes, my feet on the wall. Inhale, arms coming up, Tadaka Mudra. So starting with that Tadaka Mudra we worked on earlier. Tuck my chin in as I inhale, stretch the back of the neck. Exhale, bringing one leg up as you bend the knee this time. So you're going to bend the knee and draw the foot up as you flex the other foot perhaps. Inhale, legs coming up, leg coming up rather, arm up. Exhale, touch the toe down as the hands come down by your hips. Feel the core working a lot. Inhale, extend. Exhale, other side. I'll go through the breathing. Sorry, I forgot to cue. Exhale, drawing the leg in as the arms come down. Inhale, extending up as the arms come up, tucking the chin in. Exhale, touch the toe down as the hands come down to your hips. Inhale, extend out. And just keep, I like moving the ankles as I do this. Other side. Inhale, extending up. Exhale, rooting down, touching the toe down, hands by your hips. Feel that core working. Inhale, extend. This feels easy. You can try both legs. Exhale, drawing in. Inhale, extending up. Exhale, drawing in. In this case, I'm pointing the toes as I exhale. Inhale, I'm actually flexing the toes for this version. Just keep that going. Again, you can do one leg at a time or both. It's great for the lower back, neck, and shoulders. It's bringing us home to our center at the gut. The Manipuraka, the seat of many jewels at the belly button. This is the home to the 72,000 nadis, rivers of energy throughout the system, the subtle body that the yogis talk about. You want to clean those nadis, those channels, through your asana practice, through your pranayama practice. There's a Nadi Sodhana, which we'll get to soon. And just finishing up. And take a rest. Do one more decompression pose. This is going to be a bit of a stretch as well for the legs. So inhale, arms coming up, letting you rest too long. Exhale, bring one leg up again as we did earlier, but this time you're going to grab behind the thigh if you can. So that's your exhale. Just a little different than before. Inhale, extend the leg out, point, 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 stretch away, and other side, exhale. Inhale. Now, if this is not possible, you can do this with bent legs like this. So inhale, the arms come up. Exhale, bring one leg up and hold underneath. Inhale. And exhale, other leg. Okay, so you can do it that way if the straight leg version is not working for you. Sorry, I didn't demo that correctly, but that's another way actually of doing it is you can bend, exhale, and then straighten and help it. Anyway, I will not confuse you. Too many variations. Exhale, draw in. And inhale, extend. So if you have compression, your hips are back, really draw that foot away and decompress that hip and lower back. And then exhale, other side. And if you tend to have a bit of crunching in the ligaments of the hips, what I've noted is over time, that crunching goes away as I do this, which is pretty cool. And the pain in the hip goes away as doing this for the same reason. So I found a lot of my students, like me, have this problem of compression. If this feels too easy, you can bring your hands to your calf. You might want to have something under your head as you do that, because that's going to work your neck a little bit more than you might like. And another version, classical, is holding the big toe. So pick your medicine. I'm just going to do the thigh today. I like that better for myself. And just finishing up. And to end with, exhale, draw your legs in, hands behind the thighs, inhale, legs up, and just stay here and release those hands to the sky. Just stay in the semi-inversion or lost asana before we sit again for some pranayama meditation. You can always do this pose with a pillow, a block under the buttocks. Or you can put a bolster under the buttocks. I'm not going to show that today, but that's another option, or a big bed pillow. Viparita Karani. Just stay here and breathe. If you get any tingling, take a break. Bring the knees into the chest. And then start again. Inhale, so, exhale, hum. Just finishing up. So, an option, you can just do Shavasana now to end, or you can join us for our final pranayama meditation, your choice. Your medicine. Again, find a seated position that's really going to work for you today. Just find your seat. Do Nadi Sodhana. We've been talking a lot about cleaning the Nadis, these 72,000 channels. This is a classical, very commonly taught pranayama because it's very, very safe and works for everyone. I would say almost everyone. I'm going to add the modification of working with both hands, so we have a bit of bilateral stimulation of the brain, and so that one side of the neck doesn't get sore. So classically with Mrigi Mudra, first two fingers draw in, the ring finger and little finger are together, and the thumb is at the side. So that's the classical mudra, hand position for pranayama. If that doesn't work for you, you can try the word up modification, or you can just create a little crow beak with your hands, which for a lot of people works much better. And you're going to inhale. I'm not going to mirror this one. Inhale through the left nostril. Exhale through the right nostril. Inhale right. Exhale left. And switch. Now, if you can, Desikachar was very particular about this. Inhaling, as you do that inhale, can you put a little bit of half pressure on that nostril? As you exhale, can you put a little bit of half pressure on that nostril, that right nostril? Inhale right. And exhale left. So you block one nostril and you exhale through the other nostril, either the full nostril, or if you can, close it halfway. Elbow at the side to keep the rib cage good and open. And just keep switching side to side with your arms. And once you have the technique, can you pick a ratio? Inhale 4 to 12 seconds or more. Exhale the same. Just finish up your last round and then move to Jai Pranayama, both nostrils constricting the throat. Just finishing up. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. Tip of the tongue, roof of the mouth. Using Yana Mudra, first finger and thumb together. And I have the tip of the tongue at my roof of the mouth. You can continue meditating. We will close the class for today. But if you have time, just sit a little bit longer if you can, 10, 15 minutes, and just enjoy the fruits of the practice. Namaste. Namaskaram. Thank you very much.